Let's go. It's been a minute. Before I do playback, let me get my own playback. Hold on, guys. Or your playback first. Ooh, it's been a while. Hold on. There we go. What's up, guys? Back, position that a little better, no? There you go. It's been a minute, man. There you go. Position that a little better, no? Is that good? Joseph Ramos. What's up, dude? All right, now let me put your playback on. Hold on, guys. It doesn't seem it, but we have not done a live stream in what, a couple weeks, I think, right? Janelle, what's going on? John Cena. Something went wrong on my end. Uh-oh. Was that technical difficulties as always on my end, but hold on. There you go. There you go. Maybe that's good. Okay. All right, let's do this again. Check. Marie. James Shrimp Fajitas. William Odyssey. Hey, we got 22 months membership. Man, I'm getting back into the groove. I remember how to do this. Eric Leno, 22 months membership. That's an amplified star. That's not a little gold star you get in 4th grade. That's an amplified star, brother. That means this is a legit board of director on this channel. Eric Leno. Yo, MD20, bro. You guys knew. Are you guys still with me or am I cutting off here? Because I'm cutting off on my end. In the chat, let me know if I'm cutting out at all. Like I'm losing my screen. You're clear, says Joe. I didn't cut out at all to you guys. You're great. No. I'm literally just losing my screen in totality. So that's weird. As long as you guys can see me, see and hear me, I can't hear or see myself. That's awesome. I'll just keep refreshing, I guess, and maybe that'll do something. I don't know. Maybe it's my connection somehow. But as long as you guys can hear me, this is a shout out to MD20 with that 5-spot coffee. What up, BC? Smashed out leg day. And no Packers reviews this season? No, man. I'm too busy this season, man. Like extra. Believe me when I say I am catching every game, or at least trying to catch every play. I just don't have the time to do the Packer reviews, man. And if I don't have the time to do it the right way, I'm not doing it at all. So that's always been kind of my philosophy on that. So, yeah, no Packers reviews, unfortunately. I know. I know, man. I would have loved to have MD20. Is it freezing? Because I mean, it's doing more than freezing on my end, man. It's just totally not letting me, yeah, it's just it's saying something went wrong and then it cuts out on my end, guys. So hopefully it stays on. Hey, hopefully you crushed leg day there, MD20. Says you smashed it out. That's what I want to hear. Let me give you a proper salute. Yeah, I don't know what's up, man. This is exactly why, too, man. I haven't done a live stream in a couple of weeks. A lot of issues. And it's stemming from the tube. I've done everything on my end. I don't know. I don't think they want me on the platform, guys. They don't want me on the platform. How can I keep... I can't keep... This is wild. Something went wrong. Learn more. All right. Well, listen. So odd, man. Yeah, I don't know. I'm having technical issues on my end. You guys are telling me you're pretty good, so that's probably Carlos, 22 months. Hey, BC in chat, just dropping in to say hello. I'll be listening to the show. Salute. Carlos, first of all, I appreciate you, man. So good to see you up in here, man. It's been a minute for all you guys. Carlos, there might not be a show. I'm having more technical difficulties, on my end anyway. And I think James Shrimp Fajita says he has to keep refreshing as well. That's no way to catch a live stream. So I'm glad that I can at least give you guys pre-uploads, pre-records, like I have been with the Amped Up shows. All apologies, guys, for some reason. And now this is only on like 2 minutes of notice. I'm giving you guys no notice on this because this is basically a test. And it's not passing the test. I'm telling you that right now, man. Because on my end, every 20 seconds, it just cuts me right out. So, Carlos, I don't think there's going to be too much of a show. I have a whole page of things I want to go over with you guys, man. Ratings, AEW Dynamite, some NXT talk, big debut this Friday, return on Friday, big debut on Tuesday. So there's a lot I want to talk about, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to, man. Thank you, TKG. Yankees ain't going to need any luck, though. We're going to whoop that ass. Actually, I can't say that with a straight face, man. The Dodgers are a scary team over there in the National League. So that's going to be tough, man. I'm telling you right now. The Dodgers are going to be, it's going to be a tough one. World Series starts tomorrow for those of you that don't know. Tomorrow is the World Series, Yankees, Dodgers, man. It's a coast-to-coast type of World Series. It almost was a Subway Series. Mets and Yankees. Mets could not fulfill their end. All right, so one more time, I have to ask you guys, are you breaking up? Is it kicking you off? Is the upload, is the live stream stopping? Because I need to know, because it is for me. And if it is for you guys, this is no way to do a live stream. This was a test anyway. I went live with literally 2 minutes of notice because this was a test. Every minute or so. So odd, man. And it was doing this before, too. We haven't done a live stream in a couple of weeks. But it was doing some weird stuff. It was putting me in vertical format. It was cutting off the mics. It was taking off the vid, the live feed. All right, I'm going to keep going then, man. I have no visual. I have no audio on my end. So let me know if... You know what? I'm just going to take your, if it's all right, I'm going to take your playback off because it doesn't matter right now to me. I'm going to put my own playback in. Guys, if it's too much, just let me know in the chat. I'm just going to end this and we'll do an amped up show for tomorrow before SmackDown. And I'll try to go over all the things that I want to go through right now. A lot of you guys are telling me it's all right. James Shrimp Fajitas is saying it's being fickle. It's being more than fickle for BC, man. I'm totally, it's totally just booted me right off. But this was a test live stream anyway, guys. 2 minutes of notice. Yeah, that's it. I always wanted this one to be a test, just in case we have to do we're going to do a PLE or a watch along. I want everything to be okay for that, for sure. K-Boss, what do you want to talk about? Congratulations to Cody, by the way. 200 days as champion. 200 days. I could have gotten this done with at WrestleMania 39. Instead of laying down next to the rubber chicken, we could have done his title reign. Roman could have went on his vacation. We could have gotten Roman and Rock at WrestleMania. And we could have been in something really fun for Cody right now, maybe. That doesn't even involve a championship. But instead, he's taking on Kevin Owens, his friend. Then he's taking on Gunther in a rushed matchup in just 3 weeks. But you know what? 200 days, man. Salute. I'm certainly not going to play or hate. Goldberg, guys. Goldberg has just, Prime Killer. The stream cuts off on me every minute, and I need to keep hitting refresh. It's doing it for me every 10 seconds. So I'm going to try to run through this, as quick as I can. I don't know if it's going to play in totality in the post live. I don't know if I'll keep this up post live, because if it's too much, it's so odd how it's just cutting off like that. But we'll do more on our end if it is, but we've done everything. It looks like the tube is just having a lot of issues. At least on my end. They don't want me on the platform. Too damn bad, man. They can't stop the pre-records when we do the amped up shows every single day, so we'll keep doing them. Carlos, yeah, it's a reboot mania for me, man. Goldberg just talked about Gunther recently. He's saying, listen, this was a one-off thing. I don't even want to talk about that right now. That's a bunch of BS, though. Hunter Hearst Helmsley and him have already agreed to something, so you're going to see Goldberg in the near future. You're most likely going to get Gunther and Goldberg. Thank you guys for yesterday's stream. That was kick-ass, man. We tackled a lot of things from race to politics. My boy JD going against or having words with Tony Khan, the boss of AEW. That was a lot of fun in that upload. We talked a lot of things. Carlito, man. Much love to Carlito. I put him on a pedestal. Something about Carlito I just really, really like. If I had the booking pen, I am booking Carlito as one of my main people in my company. I just am. Dude's got a hella talent. He can carry storylines. He's good with promos. But yeah, the Chinese line to BC, there was no need for it. Now, there was a lot of you guys that saw no harm, no foul. He's just playing his dumb character, and that's just Carlito going into business for himself. It didn't land. But for BC, EO deserves better than that. Maybe that's what it is too. EO is just, she doesn't need to be the the centerpiece to a Chinese joke in 2024 or in 1994. Like, that's just low hanging fruit that even when I was a teenager, the Attitude Era, it wouldn't go. It's not needed. It didn't get a laugh in the arena, and not many people thought it was funny outside of it, clearly. So that was kind of that was not needed. But yeah, Carlito should not be fined for that, guys. He definitely not suspended. He should not be fired. There were some people going a little overboard. He was trying to be funny. It didn't land. Was there ignorance attached to the comment? Yes. So you just clear it up. I'm sure EO is going to be fine with it. I'm sure they'll share a laugh over a coffee. But something like that, there's no need for that in 2024, nor was there 30 years ago. A lot of people wanted to bring up the Attitude Era, right? Oh, man, everybody says they want the Attitude Era back. They can't even handle a joke like that. I don't know how many people, when they talk about the Attitude Era, I don't know how many people are talking about jokes. When I think of the Attitude Era, I'm talking about the electricity from the rock music for your intro. The pyro that was more like you were in a war zone, literally. And it was called a war zone, by the way. And it was like you were in a war zone with the pyro. It wasn't just some pyro, a little bit of fireworks, some sparklers. The rock music was banging out. Everybody's got a sign. It was electric. Storylines. You had people filling up Corvettes with cement. You had beer trucks. You even had milk trucks, bro. You had monster trucks going over rental cars that a superstar just drove up in. You had limousines blowing up. You had superstars getting chucked off of bridges and into rivers. You had wrestlers fighting in actual bars, not setting up like kegs around the ringside area. Actual bars, supermarkets. That's the Attitude Era. It had attitude. I don't think back of jokes, man. I can't tell you the old school Japanese jokes from the Attitude Era. So that's a really weird thing. I mean, of course they were said back in the day, probably left and right. Nobody's saying that jokes and low-hanging fruit jokes were not around back then. But nobody is actually remembering them or listen, props to you if you are. Maybe that those jokes really landed for you. BC cannot tell you one joke from back in the day because it didn't land to me back then and it didn't land to me now. Only difference is now I've grown up even more, so I don't need to see somebody as talented as EO be called Chinese so I can laugh. Especially if you're going to be watching wrestling with like a female or something, right? And she's on her computer doing business, but she's letting you watch wrestling, and you're like, did you hear the joke? He's called her Chinese because she's Japanese, and he goes, I got to learn Chinese. Because she's Japanese, so he said Chinese. she's probably going to close up the laptop and walk out on you. And I wouldn't blame her, dude. That's so stupid. But that was a big argument for a lot of people, man. In the Attitude Era, you guys would have loved it. No, I wouldn't have. I didn't watch the Attitude Era. The Attitude Era wasn't the best era ever because of jokes. Now, did women in their how you doings help out? Back in the days, natty knockers? Absolutely, right? And I'm more than okay with talking about how beautiful the females are today, just like I did then. The only difference is they're way more talented. So we look at them much differently. Now they can actually wrestle. But if you think Natty's walking down the aisle and BC's not going, knockers, puppies, of course I am. She's proud of those things. Her outfits tell you that. So, of course, we're going to talk about how beautiful she is, how beautiful Kalani Jordan is from NXT, how beautiful freaking Bianca Belair is. All of them. There's very rare you're going to come across a female wrestler that's just like, that's not exuding some type of beauty. Just like back in the day, the only difference is they didn't have as much in-ring talent, most of them. But this Attitude Era thing is just, it's weird, man. Like, relax on that. The jokes are not why most of us loved the Attitude Era. I promise you, right? I will gladly hand over the Chinese jokes for a better society for sure. That's not being soft. That's not being offended at every little thing. It's just, what's the reasoning? I gotta learn Chinese. Were people supposed to laugh at that? She's Japanese. He called her Chinese. I mean, maybe if you're 8 years old, maybe that's funny to you. I'm not. Most people that watch the demographics, they say they're not 8. Very odd. Fleck Wapo with that one spot. Salute, Fleck. Appreciate you big time, dude. And again, MD as well. Carlos with the, was it 22? 22 months on Carlos's membership. 22 months. Eric as well. 22. JR9 Gaming. 22 months strong. What up, BC in the unit? 22 months, and what a time it has been. Best streams on YouTube. Really looking forward to Halloween Havoc Sunday. Way more than Crown Jewel. JR9, man, I haven't done one of these in a long time. It is so good to see you, Carlos, Ron C, celebrating 21 months of channel membership. So good to see you guys up in here. JR9, thank you for that NXT review recap. Eye-opening. I was not able to see the majority of it. It sounded like I think you gave it a 6.5 out of 10. You called it a decent show for the most part, and you said, I actually wrote down this stat that JR9 gave BC in the unit. Yesterday's upload in the comments, you guys can check out JR9's NXT recap and review report. 26 women were featured across 4 separate matches on NXT Tuesday night. That's according to JR9 Gaming. So 26 females. Now, JR9, in your report, I remember you said something to the effect of, I don't know how if the ratings will show that this was decent, because it was so heavy female. But it was good. Or it does deserve a better rating. Well, JR9, they actually went up this week, man. NXT's rating was 702K, up from 639K, and that is with a women-dominant show. 26 females used, 4 female matches. I think JR9 said there was only 2 men's matchups, and they went up approximately 61, about 63 plus thousand, 63.5. So pretty cool, and I'm absolutely proud of them. Glad that they, even when the rating kind of goes backwards a little bit when they do the women dominant ones, it doesn't deter them, right? They don't get scared to do it again. So I think that's pretty much that's the coolest thing. What else? Let me see too. And I'll give you guys real quick. That was NXT's rating, 702K, up from 639. If you guys are wondering, Raw's rating stayed the same, 1.5 last week, 1.5 this past week. So they have not moved. They're just kind of in a rut. And some fans like to say, Monday Night Raw, man, it was so good and Hunter was cooking. Well, the ratings are telling you not really, man. It's 1.5s. And when they don't have football competition, if you're wondering, it's a 1-6 to a 1-7. So it's not that much different with or without football. SmackDown took a real hit this week, guys. SmackDown scored a 1.65 last week. This past week, a 1.37. They lost nearly 300,000 viewers. There was some Major League Baseball playoffs on, yes. But that is a huge drop. Their lowest since they moved back to USA Network for sure. You too, Ron C23, man. Great to be doing this again. I'm having technical difficulties on my end. Some of you guys are as well. You have to refresh a lot. All apologies. This is only a test stream anyway. I gave no notice. I think I gave like 90 seconds to maybe 2 minutes tops. But this was supposed to be a test session anyway, because we haven't done this in a few weeks. And last time we did, we were also having technical difficulties. So this is a test stream. There'll be some much better ones coming up, hopefully starting next week. But this was a chance for BC to run some tests and to also say what's up to my unit, especially my gold carders, man, like Ron C23, 21 months strong. Ron C23 says, BC, I appreciate how you always keep it 100, no matter what it is about. Respect. Woo! A little bit of Charlotte. I'll get back into the Charlie woos. Ron C23, she's coming back, man. It's imminent. Charlie Flair is going to be queen versus queen. I can't say I'm down for it, but I'm going to be happy for you, Ron C23. When Charlie comes back. I appreciate those words. I really do. BC, I appreciate how you always keep it 100, no matter what it is about. Respect. Respect right back to you, man. I'm glad that you guys enjoy that type of content. You know, we don't always just talk about the show that just finished. We talk about the behind the curtain, the behind the scenes, what's the big stories, and we kind of jump into it, right? We dissect the conversations that are hard to have, whether that's race, politics, doesn't matter. If it needs to be talked about, or it should, or it's an interesting discussion, BC wants to have it. Even though this is just a test stream, I do appreciate the ups as well, guys. On 90 seconds to 2 minutes of notice with tech difficulties. Ron C23, Jer9, Carlos, Eric Leno, man, I appreciate you guys, man. So good to see everybody up in the, it's so good to see this live stream chat again. It's been a minute. Man, I wish I wasn't having I wish I could hear my own playback, you know? But that's not the case. It is booting me for sure. We might have to do some more test streams over the next 7 days, guys, so don't be shocked if you just get BC live streams like out of nowhere, right? Like it's freaking noon. You get no notice at all. And BC's just talking some pro wrestling. I might have to do that. Tony Partito, what's up, man? Chris Jericho needs to get off my TV. Prime Killer. Yeah, real quick, if I may talk some AEW. And then I'll go back to, yeah, because I want to talk NXT, obviously. Delta's debut. Zarya. And man, that's huge. But let's stick with AEW since Prime Killer's like, Jericho, get off my TV, because he just won a the ROH championship, I believe, on Wednesday in that ladder match. With Briscoe, I only was able to see the finish of Dynamite, but I'm going to go over some of the things that I heard. And I heard that the Jericho ladder match was good, but the finish was horrible. Now, can you guys back that up? Was the finish absolute trash, or are you going to tell me the whole match was trash? Because I heard it was good, but maybe you guys were like, nah, that ain't it, BC. DeMonte, Ty Drew, 22 months, man. There's a lot of 22 club up in here, man. DeMonte, Ty Drew, 22 months ago, I became a gold member, and I'm still getting amped while hitting the gym right now. Gold team, go! DeMonte, crush it, man. MD just got on, just crushed leg day, man. So it's good to know you guys are at the gym popping in the earbuds. Appreciate you, big time. Let me give you a proper one. DeMonte, Ty Drew, here's to another 22 months plus, dude. So glad I get to say what's up to you guys, man, live. Reese Monet, 11 months strong. I liked both NXT and Dynamite this week more than Raw and SmackDown Friday. So NXT Dynamite won over. Reese, I wasn't able to catch NXT and Dynamite in totality, but from what I'm hearing on both, I think I'm with you, because I did watch SmackDown, I did watch Raw, and the reviews, they could not be more honest than what I gave you guys. It was absolute filler, man. Filler. It's like they're already on cruise control to take an early vacation into the holidays. Anyway, Reese, not only do I agree with you, but salute for the 11 months strong. So good to see you up in here, and a proper salute to Reese and DeMonte. AEW is a mess. James Shrimp Fajitas. Christian and Chris Jericho had a good match, Odyssey. So it was a good match. Marie says it was trash. Mikkel says it was garbage. James Shrimp Fajita says garbage. The finish was trash, as Reese Monet. Anthony, hi guys. Some Jericho. Jer9 says, guessing because Jericho won, most are going to hate the finish. Yeah, man, Jericho is not a popular dude in the dub right now. Salute. Halfway? Salute. What else? Match was good, but why did Jericho need to win that match? Is ROH getting a TV deal? Well, it's funny you say that, Prime Killer, because one of my stories was about Shockwave. I don't know if you guys know what Shockwave is, but it's a new show that's being shopped around. They want it for Fox. So Shockwave, that's one of my stories, and I'll just do that right now as I'm talking about AEW Dynamite. So I'll kind of take a detour. Shockwave has not yet been picked up by Fox. In fact, Shockwave was trademarked on September 15th by AEW. September 15th. It was initially headed to Fox. A report days later clarified that any talks between AEW and Fox was for content specifically intended for Fox's FS1 cable station. So FS1 is where, if Shockwave is going to be a concept picked up, it'll end up on FS1. So they're saying Fox. That's why Swerve Strickland said, I'm hearing that we are getting a deal with Fox soon. But it's FS1, not the actual broadcast station. So I want to clarify, that's what the latest reports are saying. It's for Shockwave. Many of us are like, that should be ROH then, right? No, from what we're hearing, it's supposed to be another AEW show if it gets picked up. So they're losing Rampage, which needs to happen, but they're going to gain Shockwave. Why? Why? The only thing shocking about this is not the wave. It's shocking that we're going to get rid of a show, which they should be doing, and getting a whole nother show. Concentrate on Dynamite. If you have to, keep Collision. And I know they got the new TV deal, so they're going to have to produce content. But Rampage is bringing the entire company down. Adding another show right when you got rid of Rampage is negligence, unless Fox. The deal is so big, and they're going to give Tony so much money, which I doubt is going to happen, by the way. That's the whole reason they booted WWE. They were not getting a return on their investment, so I doubt that's the case. But unless Fox is offering you boatloads of money, don't destroy your company from within, because that's internal sabotage if your name is Tony Khan. Don't worry about a Shockwave. Get rid of Rampage. Worry about Dynamite. Do one thing really well instead of 10 things really average. It's the best I can tell you, man. There's no need for it exactly, Jer9. I could not believe that these discussions are even a thing. Tony has to check himself before he wrecks himself. And I say that out of love, out of respect, because I want AEW to succeed. But there's too many shows, and there's not enough people to care about any of them. Make them care about one. Shockwave. Anyway, that was somebody in the chat asking if ROH got a TV deal. From what we're hearing is no, this new Shockwave concept is not supposed to be. Now, anything can change, obviously. Right now, they could be changing things up, right? Maybe contemplating putting ROH on a FS1. I think that's the right thing to do, because I'm tired of seeing really good talent kind of hidden, where you have to search for it more. Dustin Rhodes is one of the best in the world still at his age. Put Dustin Rhodes in main events on your main show, and I'm going to be there for it. I'd love to see Dustin in WWE alongside his brother one more time. I would have loved to have seen that against the Bloodline. Athena. Man, you guys know one of my favorite wrestlers on the planet is called Athena. She used to be known as Ember Moon. If you don't know anything about Athena, and I wouldn't blame you because they hit her basically the last couple of years. She's really good, and she's still really good to this day. She's been a champion. You just probably don't know it, a lot of you guys. But stop hiding a lot of this talent, man. If you're going to have another show, then put it with them, and then you can have AEW do their own thing with the Dynamite and Collision. Dante Jarren, 23, 22, the 22-month club. What's good, BC? We going strong at 22 months. You ain't kidding, man. A lot of my day oneers, no ish. My day oneers are up in here on 2 minutes of notice. I think it was 90 seconds. This is only supposed to be a test stream because of the technical difficulties, and you guys are making this legendary already. Dante Jarren, 23, salute. Here's to another 22 months. Dante Jarren, 23. Man, so good to see all my day oneers up in here. A lot. I know a lot of you guys from day oneers are going to catch this afterwards. Yeah, Jarren, I'm just a huge Dustin Rhodes fan. I'm a huge Athena fan and, supporter, I should say. And I just, man, there's got to be more for them. Yeah, got here to catch ya, says Alicia, 22 months. What the heck? My 22-monthers, bro. Spidey senses, when BC went live. Alicia, salut. That's awesome. Guys, let me just finish off with some thoughts on AEW, by the way. So that's what I heard about the Jericho thing, that it was a good match, but a horrible ending. That's what I'm hearing. A lot of you guys are saying the same thing. Also, from this past week's Dynamite, and again, I only saw the finish of it, guys, so I'm just going off of what I'm hearing, and I'm just giving you my thoughts. I'm going to try to actually catch this, obviously. What I was really happy to hear, and I know a lot of you guys are going to pan this, and it's hard to just go to this concept out of nowhere, because that's kind of what they did, but they did a couple of jobber matches this past Wednesday. I know it's going to catch a lot of hate. I know the ratings are not going to favorite those sections, those segments. I understand that. But over time, if they commit to this, even if it's once every Wednesday, I tell WWE to do this, a jobber match has its place. You can propel so many storylines from a jobber match. Before the jobber match, during it, after it. But what it does also subsequently, at the same time, it's building the wrestler. It's letting your fan know, subconsciously, that's the winner, that's a loser, that's the jobber. This superstar, this big boy is going to wreck this dude. That's where the fun is. You're going to see this human being get absolutely destroyed by this dude or that gal. That's what was so fun back in the day with jobber matches. You knew dude was going to get destroyed. And you were there for it. So this week's was House of Black in a squash match. And also it was... Who was it, guys? House of Black and... Who was it? Man, Brian Cage and Lance Archer. I knew it was another tag. Brian Cage, Lance Archer also had a jobber matchup. Yes, Lance and Juan, thank you. Yes. So I know up front, and if you're not going to have a story attached to it afterwards, not that it has to do with the actual jobbers, but other superstar wrestlers, right? That's where the story comes into play. But if you're not going to have that, if you're just going to do the jobber match and then cut to the back to something totally different, it's not going to land, it's not going to be effective. So from what I'm hearing is these didn't have too much added on to just the jobber match. So they weren't done to perfection. That's where the problem lies. That's why a lot of people shit on these two jobber matches. But they do have their place, guys. But you want to do something with the jobber matches, right? Like when it's done. We just talked about this recently, right? Wrestlers always used to have something. After the match, the $1 Million Man would stuff a $100 bill in a dude's mouth, right? Or he would call somebody into the ring and he would totally degrade them for $20. They would do anything. Till a babyface had enough of this degrading the fans and he would save the day. Something like that, right? Or Jake Roberts is having a squash match. And all of a sudden, Earthquake comes out of nowhere, takes Damien the Snake. Jake Roberts is off his game. Jake ends up getting derailed. Damien gets squashed, literally. Earthquake takes out the damn snake. Big Boss Man is in a jobber match, nails his voice, comes over the speaker, the inmate that Big Boss Man put away many years ago. Boss Man's in the jobber match, but you also are starting this feud off with Nails. It has its place today, man. You can't always have a superstar versus a superstar because, guys, one of them is always going to have to lose and you're going to end up 50-50 booking your roster eventually. And that's what all these companies do. So, some jobber matches this week. The finish I was actually able to see, man. You had Garcia and Private Party defeating the Elite. Post-match, Private Party asked the Bucks one more shot at the tag titles. One more. If we lose, we'll split up forever. So you could be seeing the end of Private Party or they're winning the titles. But the Bucks did agree to it. Wheeler and Claudio then attack from behind. Mox drags out Chuck Taylor to the ring because Marina Shafir drove the truck. Apparently a bunch of baby faces were waiting for the arrival of Mox and company in the parking lot. They ended up getting Marina Shafir, but just Marina. So Mox is dragging out Chuck Taylor, puts a chair around Chuck's dome piece, and breaks the neck of Chuck Taylor. Baby faces hit the ring, medical staff. Orange Cassidy is frozen in shock. He doesn't know what to do. Medical staff doesn't even want to take the chair off of Chuck Taylor because they know he broke his neck storyline-wise. And we fade to black. We go off the air. I thought that was a tremendous finish for AEW. I thought it was done brilliantly. I always tell you guys it is a simplistic storyline, but it is so good. Just have somebody at the start of the show waiting in the parking lot for the arrival of their feud. And you keep going back to that person who's pissed off and not going to stop until that person shows up so they can have the parking lot brawl. That's what you wait for. And it builds anticipation throughout the entire night, man. Now I have to see such and such roll up. And it's Marina Shafir. Mox outsmarted AEW, the locker room, the baby faces. I thought it was so well done because they took a storyline that is simplistic in nature, but it's the fundamentals, the foundation, I should say, of what pro wrestling is built upon. So well done, that finish. Now, we do have to talk, unfortunately, recently, Adam Cole, baby. He did confirm that this was to Sports Illustrated. Adam Cole confirmed that he and Brittany Baker are no longer together. He does not want fans picking sides. He still has much love for Britt. Britt, he says, has love for him. They just kind of grew into their separate ways. He's like, you can still love one another, but you kind of grow into separate people almost, right? And you separate, man. You don't have the same things in common. You don't share the same exact love. So Adam Cole had to announce that and confirm it. We kind of knew that for a few months. And if you're wondering, right, why do a lot of fans care about that? Because there are some of these relationships where you look up at it and you go, hey, that's pretty damn cool, man. If these crazy kids in love, these lovebirds can hack it, anybody can. Especially with all the hardships that Adam Cole has been through the last several years. But unfortunately, they did not make it. And Brittany Baker and Adam Cole split up. That's been kind of in the rumor mill for a couple months. Adam Cole has confirmed it to Sports Illustrated. So there you go. That could add on. The reason I tell you that as a story is because that could add on to why you're not seeing Brittany Baker. But also, Britt Baker, I don't think is too happy with AEW as she once was. She was once that, what do you call her, the pillar? For the ladies anyway, she was like that foundation for AEW when it comes to the ladies. And ever since they got Mercedes Moné, it's almost like you're seeing a different Britt Baker. She's not as happy. She's not too quick to have a really good match with Mercedes. And I've always liked Britt Baker. You guys know that, man. She has earned her place. She just belongs. She's one of the best, and she doesn't have to be one of the best technical wrestlers. She doesn't have to be as good skill-wise as Mercedes, but she's one of the best because she checks off almost every box. She's a damn good heel for AEW for sure, much better than a face. But I don't think you're seeing the best or the happiest Britt Baker right now, so I would have to ask, is it only a matter of time, especially now because of the split, is it only a matter of time before Brittany Baker goes WWE? I'm asking you guys in the chat, by the way. Those that are not experiencing technical difficulties and you're actually able to hear that question. Is Britt Baker going to WWE? Is it only a matter of time? While I ask that, Kim T20, my 22-month club, is just banging out right now, bro. All cylinders. Kim T, has it really been 22 months? You've inspired me to take the plunge to talk wrestling, and so far it's been good. Here's to 22 more months. Kim T, best of, dude. Crush it. Just honestly, the simplest advice, believe in yourself, know what you're talking about, have that knowledge, do the research, do your due diligence, put your ducks in a row, know what you're good at, know what you're not, play to your strengths, try to hide your weaknesses, crush the game. Kim T, salute. I love hearing that, man. If I can inspire you guys to take the next step into something really great, I love hearing it. Kim T has been down with this channel for way more than 22 months of membership. Kim T is one of my Naomi peeps. Kim T was around when we were pushing for Naomi to win a title because we've had enough of the BS in that company, and it was time for Naomi to win a damn title. Of course, they only throw Naomi a title if it's for Black History Month, which they did. Or if it's Orlando, her hometown, for a month or two, maybe, which they did. And that's her only 2 title reigns. She's not Charlie and 14-time Charlie. Anyway, Kim T. Much love and respect, man. Hope so. Yes. Britt has charisma. James Shrimp Fajitas, for sure. Britt Baker, any hate she gets is just like a dislike for other reasons. In pro wrestling, Britt Baker is absolutely has a main place on any women's roster. What's up, Humble? Britt Baker in WWE would work, but WWE's women's division is stacked too. Juan, oh man, we're about to go over that, man. NXT could have the best women's division in all of wrestling. The PWI 250 does not tell you that. They'll tell you AEW does. And I wasn't too quick to disagree with that list. You guys saw my upload on that. I would question some of the moves. I would question why Roxy is not in the top 10. That's asinine. But if you want to say that Mariah May and Toni Storm and Willow and others, they had phenomenal years, man. But now, what a 2-week difference makes. NXT could have, I mean, when I tell you guys who they just got and who they're about to get, it's wild, man. Malachi, Britt Baker would be perfect in WWE. I always felt Britt was more WWE. Just in all of that, guys. I really did. I felt that she was crushing it in AEW, and she became the female. But there's some people that are made for AEW, and there's some people that are made for WWE. Ricochet, made for AEW. You just still have to give him a storyline that is going to captivate. The moves alone will not just do it. But if you can get the storylines to captivate, and if he can start to work the mic better than he has in the past, Ricochet's made for that, dude. Britt Baker, she's made for WW. Jim Ross in his prime was made for WW. Tony Schiavone, made for AEW, and he's one of the best still. Jericho, he's made for WWE. You guys know that. You don't need me to tell you that, man. He's a WWE guy. But he knows there's a boatload of cash that Tony is paying him. He's got free reign. He's a locker room leader. He's got a good thing, bro. But if you don't think he would love to be at a WrestleMania main event, you know, if you don't think that he would want Vince and Hunter Hearst Helmsley to both look at him so proudly still, just like Kurt Angle would, they do. Oh, Prime Killer. 5-spot coffee. Before I read that, let me give you a salute. Prime Killer, appreciate the coffee. If Shane O'Mac does join AEW, he needs to be heavily involved in the business and creative side to help turn AEW around than just be on-air talent. Yeah, although don't be shocked, Prime Killer, if he just joins to be on-air talent, because honestly, he's doing this mostly for his kids, man. Like, they are growing up and they really want to see their dad in there. Their dad is getting a little older. He can't do the things he once did. So he knows he doesn't want to work under Hunter Hearst Helmsley. I don't know if you guys know this. It's public knowledge, but it's not really talked about. BC has no problem talking about it because I love talking about these things. But Hunter Hearst Helmsley and Shane McMahon never really saw eye to eye. Shane never wanted Stephanie to date Hunter. It wasn't like Vince who was like pushing Stephanie to date Hunter. Shane never wanted that. And I don't blame Shane. I mean, that's kind of shady, especially if you know that this dude is dating somebody else and is going to screw your sister behind Chyna's back. Of course, Shane, any brother is going to be that way, right? If anybody has a sister in the chat, you're not going to want your sister to you. That's a scumbag, dude. You know? Meanwhile, Vince is like, find somebody like Paul. He's a good gentleman. But if you're a brother, you're like, no, this dude's with somebody else. So Shane never saw eye to eye with them anyway. He's always going to love his sister, but they never really saw eye to eye. And I don't believe one bit that he wants to work under Hunter Hearst Helmsley. So this could just be him saying, hey, I want some matches. I'm fed up with my father. I don't want to do anything with my brother-in-law. Let me go over here, man. I like what you're doing. I mean, if the price is right, I can elevate some of your talent. I could work a storyline that might pull a little bit of a better rating. Maybe I can get you freaking 100,000, 200,000 more viewers, which is something, right? More than all of these talents that Tony is spending so much money on, and the needle is going backwards. I do believe that Shane, at least in the first month, will bring you some viewership. Will the storyline keep that viewership? That's another story. But it's food for thought, man. But I absolutely agree, Prime Killer. There's such a wealth of knowledge that how can you not pick out more than just an on-air talent? So if you're Tony Khan, I would say, hey, dude, do you want to do some other stuff? Unique Butterfly. I know that's over a year membership because I see that amplified gold. I see that lightning bolt on that star. Unique Butterfly. Hi there. Been so busy. I'm on the honor roll, guys. Knocking it out at school. Studying while listening to the stream. Red and gold team. Go! Unique. Honor roll, dude. I told you guys, didn't I, from day one? We are the smartest pro wrestling fans on the planet. I told you. And Unique Butterfly is proving that literally when she holds up that degree like it's a world heavyweight championship at WrestleMania. You go get that shit. You slaughter it, Unique Butterfly. The unit, this whole entire channel has got your back, man. Get that diploma. BC never was able to do that, unfortunately. I had to go and get a GE. And then I did a little bit of community college. But life takes over and you gotta make money, you know what I mean? So I had to go and work 3 jobs to get to where I ended up getting, thankfully. And, you learn about investing and you start making grown-up decisions. But it wasn't always easy for BC. I would have loved to have gone back and done it the right way. Unique Butterfly, salute. You go get 'em, girl. 100 on the ups. I appreciate it, guys. If you're in and out of this stream, this is a test stream only. On 90 seconds to 2 minutes of notice because there's been tech difficulties. And I still have them on my end, but a lot of you guys are saying it's doable. So we're going to keep going with the stream. But, this was not supposed to be a longer stream. It was a test stream. So I appreciate all of you guys for being up in here. And if this stays up on the channel for everybody that's checking this out afterwards, I appreciate you guys big time. Even through the technical difficulties, you guys are rocking out. And because of that, I'm going to stay shooting the shit with you guys. Yeah, Odyssey, what do you say about Will Ospreay? I forgot. Hunter Hearst Helmsley. Unique Butterfly. Jack Brewer. 22 months. My 22-month club, dude. Showing up big time. This ain't no test session for my 22-monthers, dude. This is a showcase of the immortals. Jack Brewer, thank you. That's support, man. There's nothing like it. Here's to another 22. You know the deal. Triple H is still mad about it that he did not get Will Ospreay. Yeah, Will Ospreay said he just didn't want to travel and things like that. Oh, yeah, he did take a potty shot, didn't he? What did he say? Crazy Country. Triple H is the most overrated wrestler ever and worst booker ever. Yeah, I was always into Hunter's character, man. The cerebral assassin. When he was a bad guy in the Attitude Era, when that music hit, he was a superstar. So I can't talk trash on the wrestler, because even though he wasn't the most skilled, obviously, Hunter Hearst Helmsley, Triple H, I should say, the character Triple H. Man, that was so insanely awesome. And it was just great feuds with Rock, Steve Austin, Taker. I mean, that was just, he added so much to that Attitude Era. As a person, he's definitely shady. I'll just put it at that. But a lot of people think he can do no wrong, so more power to him, man. It is what it is. Anthony Boley. Do I have to even say it? 22 months strong. What's up, EC? Passing through, sending some much love and respect. Let's rock it out. 22 more months and beyond. Anthony Boley, one of my first ones to get those gold cards on that channel membership was Anthony Boley. So salute, Anthony. Thanks for stopping by, man. This is a test stream. We're going to be hopefully doing a lot more of these without the tech difficulties in the near future. And I also want to give a shout out to Colin, who's got the membership locked down for 20 months thus far. What up, BC? New York Yankees must win. Well, first of all, to Anthony and Colin, salute. Appreciate you guys rocking out those gold cards, those gold amplified stars, man. It looks good after your name, I'll tell you that much. As far as my Yankees, Colin, let's go. This is it. Today was press day, media day for my Yankees. Tomorrow is the World Series Game 1. The Dodgers are going to be so hard to beat. I can see why they're the favorites, but we're not going to curl up into a corner and just let them whoop us. We have 3 of the best hitters in the game: Giancarlo Stanton, Aaron Judge, and Juan Soto. And those 3 I will absolutely take over Mookie Betts and Ohtani. I will. Just by how they're playing right now collectively, I will absolutely take my Yankees. And our pitching staff, I'll absolutely take them. Dodgers are going to go into about the 3, 4, 5 inning tops for their starters. Ours could go a little bit more, and I trust our bullpen way more. So there you go, man. To my Yankees, thank you, Colin, for bringing that up. But yes, I'm not letting the nerves sink in yet. They are going to be going against SmackDown tomorrow night. So SmackDown's going to have a rough go at it ratings-wise. They went down from a 165 last week to a 137. And that was on a divisional game last week. So could you imagine the World Series? SmackDown might get smacked upside the dome piece. I wouldn't be surprised if SmackDown scores a 1-1, 1-2. Colin, Anthony Boley, Jack Brewer, appreciate you guys big time, man. What was I discussing beforehand? I know we were talking about Britt Baker going over to WWE possibly. She has indeed split with Adam Cole. Adam Cole has confirmed that. So let's stick with... I don't want to go all over the place, though. We were talking AEW. I love the Mox thing. I already talked about that. I guess we did talk Dynamite. I still have to see more of it. But there's things that I heard happened on Dynamite, and what I did see on Dynamite, I absolutely like the direction they're going in on a few things. So while the cool thing to do seems to be to pan and to bash AEW, and some of it's justified because they're not stepping up when they should be, I'm seeing some good things they're doing. If they can just do it correctly and consistently, they'll be in a much better place. BC will keep them on their toes for it, I assure you. Now we talk about Britt Baker possibly going to WWE. Guys, NXT this past week, they debuted Delta. Zarya, I believe, is what she is going by now, correct? But Delta has debuted. Now, if you've never seen Delta, she is an absolute beast. You immediately think her versus Jordynne Grace, right? And it's funny you would go that route because Jordynne Grace is going to be signed immediately when her TNA contract expires. She is going to WWE. The only question is, will she go main roster or does she go NXT? But Jordynne Grace is coming. But this is like an appetizer. We're going to give you Delta first. And she debuted at the end of, I keep wanting to say Toxic Attraction. Sorry, JR9. Fatal Influence and Stephanie Vacuur and Julia's matchup. And JC is spinning the wheel. It lands on, what was it, JR9? Pick Your Poison, is it? What was it, JR9? Is JR9 still up in here? What was it? Hold on. Let JR9 say Spinner's Choice. Okay, so it lands on Spinner's Choice. Before they can even say anything, the lights go out. Delta appears at the top of the ramp. Now, WWE is taking a lot of flack. The CW cut it off. JR9, did you know about this? CW cut it out in like half the country. At least half the country did not get to see the actual finish. They're on a 20-second delay. They have a hard out at the 10 o'clock slot, which is even before 10 o'clock. So half the country never saw the debut. WWE was livid. Fans were like, what in the... CW, when they say it's 10 o'clock, they mean it. They're like the strict parent. You better be home when those street lights go on. Your ass better be on the couch. Did any of you guys miss it? The news cut off and NXT out of, so Mikkel got it cut off. I got it all on my feed, says JR9. Anybody get it cut out? There's a lot of people pissed off, man. WWE was not happy about it, but they should have known. They have it hard out. That's the problem with CW. USA will give you some extra minutes. CW's like, check you. We got to go to the news. Yeah, Darkman, that's exactly right. That's network TV for you. Much different than cable. When they say they got to go to the news, that's their bread and butter. So, yeah, but that's big, man. Now a lot of people are not going to know much about Delta because there's not much to know about. She hasn't really had a lot of matches out there for the public eye. She's ran the independent circuit for approximately 4 years. I want to say 2020, 2021 to recently. So about 3 to 4 years she's been wrestling on the independent circuit. But no matches that really you would come across just out of the blue, even as somebody more than just a casual fan. But from what I know about this gal, and she has had a match with Jordynne Grace. Interesting, right? That's a little tidbit I came across. I've never seen that match, by the way. And I don't know if I want to, because I want to see that. Knowing that Jordan's also coming in, I kind of want to see that fresh. But Jordynne and Delta, Zarya, whatever you want to call her now, they already had a match together, so pretty interesting. These are two beasts. And it's clear the direction they're going in. They want that like Jade Cargill type wrestler, right? Jordynne Grace, Shawn Michaels, and Hunter have spoke so much praise to Jordynne Grace. It's like when Delta came for the tryouts last year, it was like, yup, we want you. Because that's what happened. She attended a tryout. Where was it, Jared? Somewhere in the UK. There was a PLE. What was that? What was the PLE? I forgot. They did a tryout, and Delta was one of the participants, and they took her immediately, from what we're being told. So there's this new direction. They're bringing in a lot of power. They already have all of the finessed wrestlers, right? You got your Kalani Jordans and such. You got your workhorses that check off a lot of boxes, like Jada Parker. I'm really digging Jada Parker recently. Actually, I always have, but recently even more so. JR9 and Booker T have said JC Jane is more than ready, has been more than ready to be main roster bound. But they don't want to lose somebody like JC. So now they're going to bring in power. They're going to bring in Delta. They're going to bring in Jordynne Grace. And when they eventually go to the main roster, you got to start thinking Jade and Bianca and all of that muscle. I still think there's still room for Beth Phoenix. But because Adam Copeland is now in AEW, if Beth does come back, she'd probably go AEW. Especially because 2 months ago, Beth Phoenix's deal with the WWE, she had an extension deal with them, which is not a full deal. But she did have one of those, it's almost like the Legends deal. That expired. So that tells you WWE is not even interested in Beth Phoenix, but she's still one of those big muscle gals for her age. I still want to see Beth Phoenix versus Jade or Bianca Belair, I should say. Jade, once she gets a little less green, possibly. But, man, they're bringing in the muscle. And because of this, now you have to look at NXT like they're checking off every box. Like they're so well balanced. Does NXT, I'll ask you guys, does NXT now have the best female division in pro wrestling? What do you guys think, man? Or are you going, I don't know, you could easily say WWE's main roster, right? You could easily say that, but there's so many to choose from. Io, Bayley, Bianca, Charlie's not even there right now. Becky hasn't even been back in months. She still has to re-sign, confirm that, dot the I's, cross the T's. There's so much talent in WWE. AEW, man, they still have Brittany Baker. Mariah May had a breakout year. Toni Storm is showing everybody what she's all about and has been about. You just got Mercedes Moné, man. Yes, without a doubt. Yes, looks like it, stacked from top to bottom. They already had it. Now it's just cemented. Yes, I'm seeing a lot of yes. Yeah, I think NXT might, only because it's the most well-balanced, I feel. I mean, you can go from Lola Vice and Jada Parker to a Kalani Jordan, JC Jane to a Jordan Grace Delta now. And then go to Roxy or Cora Jade. It's just wild how much depth this roster has. NXT, unlike any other company or brand, they put such a focal point on the females. It's kind of wild. And Hunter, meanwhile, when Hunter was with NXT, he did that too, right? The horsewomen, right? That was on the watch of Hunter Hearst Helmsley. It's amazing that the women's division is in such shambles on the main roster with Hunter running the show. I mean, they barely have more than one match on every show. It's mostly still 2 to 3 minutes. There's no storyline that is actually interesting the masses. Interesting to the masses, I should say. It's all just weird and convoluted. You have heel versus heel at the PLE coming up. Liv Morgan and Nia Jax. How strange. That's what we're doing, man. It's very odd. And then you have like weird tag team matchups like heel Tiffany Stratton with face Rhea Ripley, right? Taking on a couple of heels. But you have a heel in Tiffany and a face in Rhea Ripley. It's just like Hunter is just all over the place. And he's doing it with the men too. He doesn't care if you're a face or a heel. He's got Braun Breaker looking like an idiot. Braun Breaker's out there, supposed to be the heel, mind you, right? He shook the hand of Jey Uso. He got everybody thinking he's a nice guy. And then the next week he beat the shit out of Jey Uso and mocked the crowd. And then this week he's going right back to going, is there any dogs in the arena? So they can bark. So he's pandering, guys. That's a face move, right? That's what baby faces do. They pander to the audience. They get the reaction. He's trying to get the dogs to bark. But here's the thing. I thought they're supposed to be yeeting. So in one segment, you got them yeeting, dancing, and barking. And when the bell rings, they're like, what do we do now? We just cheered for both of them. Wow, Hunter made us look like idiots. That's what he does, man. That's what happens when you do face and heel and heel. You don't have to muddy the waters, man. I don't know what Hunter's doing anymore. I really don't. His booking is so confusing, and it doesn't help anybody. Now, if this was moving the needle, BC would say, dude, I'm going to shut myself up, and we'll be back next month with an amped up show. But no, it's 1-5-1-5. The needle is not going up on Monday Night Raw. If anything, it drops. SmackDown just lost 300,000 viewers this week from last week. So the shows are losing viewers. It's never going up. So you can say, BC, I don't agree. I disagree, BC. That's fine. Much love and respect. But, I mean, I'm bringing facts and I can back it up with the numbers that it's not working. So if you like it or if you enjoy it, that's awesome. That's not even sarcasm. That's awesome if you're watching this and you like it. It doesn't mean it's good. And the numbers are telling you that fans are being confused by this booking. It's telling you that most fans don't want to see Gunther and Randy shake hands when Gunther just said Randy's a failure and your whole family's a failure, and then they have a wrestling contest and they shake hands. Most fans don't care about Kevin Owens and Cody having a match as best friends. Most fans don't want to see Rhea Ripley tag up with Tiffany Stratton as a face and a heel. Most fans don't want Braun Baker. Braun Baker. That's going to be his new. Yeah, Brittany Baker will come in and be his manager. Braun Baker. There you go. A baker's dozen. Nobody wants to see Braun Baker win a chip. Baker. Why do I keep saying Braun Breaker with 2 Ks? How can I get that wrong? 2 Ks. Hunter's like, should we add a No, Hunter, don't add a third. You can't do that, Hunter. Hunter's like, come on, one more K. You can't do that, Hunter. Trust me. You don't want to do that. Braun Breaker with 2 Ks. Nobody needs to see him win a championship for a couple of weeks, then look up at the lights while he drops the championship. Then a few weeks later, he wins the title back. Why are you 50-50 booking Braun Breaker? Is he a beast or is he not? If he's a true badass, he won't have to print it on his little singlet tights. Badass. If fans really want to cheer for him, you don't have to pander to them and ask where the dogs are at. They'll bark on their own. You guys know I'm right, man. You're just getting BC raw, upfront, candid. You're getting the best of BC. We haven't done a live stream in a while, but you're going to get this same type of BC on the Amped Up shows, pre-records. This is how we roll, man. I'm going to BS you guys. Triple H's booking is absolutely shitty. I'm not saying there's not a couple 2-3 things that are decent and good can stem from it, but in totality, these shows are so filler. You know how many people probably said Monday Night Raw was good, or was it SmackDown this week was really good, or Raw too? Do you guys know that it was all filler? It was all tag team matchups, guys. Monday Night Raw was tag team matches this week. Top of the show, you just had Seth and Bronson brawl throughout the show. And at the end of the show, you had the title change. If you guys go back to the middle of that show, it was straight tag team match after tag team match after tag team match. Stupid matchups like Dragon Lee and Rey Mysterio versus Creed Brothers or something stupid. AOP versus New Day again. Matchups like that, guys. That's the truth. That was all of Monday Night Raw. The only other thing that happened on those 2 hours was the title change. And Bronson and Seth brawled the entire show. Excuse me, not excuse me. Sorry, not sorry. If BC's not going to go on to the review and go, whoa, did you see Raw? Did you see Seth and Bronson brawl for 2 hours? I saw him broken up for 2 hours. That's what I saw. A lot of yelling. And then I saw Jey Uso drop his championship just the same way that he won the championship on a Monday Night Raw. That got 1.5 for a rating. So if you blinked, you missed Jey Uso's title reign. Sadly. It's the truth, man. I don't know what got us on that topic, by the way, man. What were we even talking about? Whoa, what were we talking about? It doesn't even matter. I know we were talking. Started with the women. And just the women's division is just, it is absolutely on fire right now for the WWE. They just got Delta. They're about to get Jordynne Grace. They just got Stephanie McCure. They just got Julia. Britt Baker might be coming. I see that happening in the near future. A wild time for the women's division. Now, can you handle all of them? What are you going to do with all of them? There's already, Hunter doesn't know what to do with the females he has. So he has to stuff most of them in NXT. Reese Monet, 5-Spot Coffee. I can't root for the Yankees, BC. My dad will disown me because he's an Orioles fan. LOL. No. For those that don't watch Major League Baseball, the Orioles are in our division, so that's a big no-no for Yankee fans, man. That, of course, is our division. Toronto, Red Sox, Orioles, us, the Yanks. But, Reese, I totally understand. I'd be the same exact way, man. If the Orioles are in there, there's no way you're rooting for them. Not happening. Today's society is weird because we just want to root for everybody, right? We just got so much room for love, man. It's mutual respect. So now you literally have like Mets fans rooting for the Yankees. The Yankee fans were rooting for the Mets when they were against the Phillies recently. You would never see that back in the day, man. We would adamantly, almost violently root against the Mets. But Reese, I totally understand, but I hope when we win the World Series, you're at least happy for BC. Deal? We'll make that deal, Reese. Salute. I know a lot of you guys can't root for the Yankees, man. You got your team, and the Yankees are like the enemy. I totally understand that. Angel Alega, dude, I got to give a shout out to Angel for 18 months of membership, a year and a half straight. That gold amplified, rocking after his name. Angel, appreciate you big time. Good to have you up in here. This was a test stream, so it's so good to see so many of you guys up in here. I know it's only been a few weeks, but it feels like it's been months since I've been able to say thank you to you guys. Angel, I wanted to give you that shout out, man. I saw that a few minutes ago. I was in the middle of one of my rants. One of my many. So Reese and Angel. And I also want to give a shout out over to Prime Killer, another $5 coffee. WWE is still charging over $200 for Survivor Series tickets in the nosebleeds. Triple H hasn't done anything yet to get me excited to go at that price. But that's what's happening, Prime Killer. It's called pricing out. And you're going to start to see a lot more of that. I don't want to bore you guys, but because I already lost my feed. I'm having huge technical difficulties. A lot of you guys are telling me you're good. Some of you guys just have to refresh. I totally got booted on my feed. But if you guys can hear me, you know what? I'm going to tell you guys this little story. It's called pricing out. That's what WWE is doing. It's a business model. They're learning it from Disney. Down at the Disney Corporation, they're currently pricing people out of their amusement parks. So you're starting to see prices go up from $80 to $90, then to $100, then to $110, to $120, $130. There's prices right now for certain dates that are about $140 to $150. Soon, you're going to have to be paying $200 to get into Walt Disney World. And Universal will also have to follow suit. They're not pricing people out as of yet. Disney is pricing people out. The reason for that, guys, is there is demand. And as long as there's that demand, they're going to try to upcharge to the point where they know people are going to pay. If you can boot some people out of the park but still get your money, the experience is going to be even better for those people, and they're going to want to come back and pay the same amount. I hope that makes sense. They're pricing families out, basically. And you say, well, that's stupid. They're going to lose money, BC. They don't want to take people's money. No, they do. They just want to they want the people that have more of it. And if they can create that type of an experience, then good, right? They know what type of clientele they want. They know who they want to bring in. They're pricing out. So WWE is lowering the dates for live events. I don't know if you guys heard about that. That's in lockstep with this new price out model. So their president just said last year they cut some off. This year they cut off like 25 to 50 more dates. Next year they're going another 25 to 50 dates of live events being cut off. Soon, guys, you're only going to have Monday Night Raw and SmackDown events. Some live events, some like specials, Saturday night's main event, things like that. But live events are being thrown to the wayside. They know there's not that much money anyway. But if we cut out the live events, there's going to be more of a demand when we come to town for Raw and SmackDown. See what I'm saying? So when you used to be able to catch like 3 shows around your area, right? Like if you live in Baltimore, maybe you can catch a show down in Washington. You can go up to New York. You can go to Philly or right there in Baltimore. You can catch 4 shows every single year. But if we cut them down and we just go to like Raw and SmackDown, now little Timmy and Jerry, they're going to have to drag their mothers out to one of these shows. What that's going to do is it's going to help them have a sellout streak, right? Because now they're packing everybody in that used to be able to go to live events, but now they can't because there is none. So now they're all packing themselves into Raw and SmackDown. So for WWE, it looks great, right? They have another sellout. Well, yeah, because you're not giving them a chance to go to WWE throughout the year. And on top of that, they pumped up the prices, guys. They priced out too. So they got you to pay more money. So they have the sellout streak. You're paying more money because, WWE's coming to town. That doesn't happen often. So that nosebleed ticket that was $20, Prime Killer is telling you it's now $200. Anyway, guys, that's a whole little history behind it. It's called pricing out, man. Darkman says $840 for nosebleeds. Yeah, it's what a lot of businesses are going toward. And the more and more that people get credit cards, the more and more they're going to pay that, right? Because it's like free money to people. A lot of people don't understand that credit cards are very dangerous. But when you have it, you think it's your money, right? So you have like a $10,000 limit, and Monday Night Raw's coming, and you want to bring your gal, and you get $600 or $700. That's nothing. I got 10,000. But once the credit cards stop, once people start maxing out their cards, this business model is going to backfire eventually on Disney, on World Wrestling Entertainment, and anybody else that tries it. Because this only works as long as people are willing to pay this demand. They're going to reach a point where even the elitists are going to say, no, thank you. I'm not paying $500 for a nosebleed seat. Anyway, I told you, we like to talk about all things pro wrestling, even when we go to ticket prices, guys. So anyway, Delta, she's debuted, and Jordynne Grace is absolutely on her way. Now, a big return this Friday, guys. It's not confirmed by WWE, but I do want to put this out there because we're hearing that you could see him on the show. Shinsuke Nakamura to return this Friday, Barclays Center, New York City. Shinsuke, or I believe he hasn't been advertised. Maybe, I don't know, JR9, has he? I'm hearing it has not been confirmed, but I am hearing that multiple reputable sources are saying Shinsuke will be there. So if that has been advertised, go ahead and let me know, guys. Yeah, JR9, me too, bro. I was saying that about AJ a while too. AJ comes back, and unfortunately, he's gone just as fast. But yeah, Nakamura is coming this Friday, we believe, guys. And again, congratulations to Cody Rhodes, 200 days as champion. I can't say that this is going to be... I can't say that Cody's title reign is going to go down as one of the most memorable, because for BC, it's just not going to. Unless something drastic like picks up from now to WrestleMania. Because as of now, it's weird. You know, the Kevin Owens face versus face, friend versus friend matchup, that didn't land. Him getting rushed into this match with Gunther when it should have been really good and a long feud and with a lot of story behind it, this isn't landing. So this is a very odd title reign, but it happened a year too late, so I'm not shocked. This should have happened at 39. We all know how BC feels about it. I'm still trying. I keep refreshing my own feed, and they keep booting me off my own live stream, so I don't know, man. I have no idea. Guys, I'm going to leave it at that. We went over an hour. Again, this was supposed to be a test stream for a good 20 to 25 minutes. You guys were telling me that you were pretty good throughout, so I just kept rolling, even though I was booted the entire time. But I appreciate you guys big time, man. It was so good to be able to do a live stream and to see a lot of the names that helped put this channel where it is and make this something really cool in this community. So I really do appreciate every single one of you guys, man. Especially if you also were having technical difficulties and had to refresh a lot. I appreciate it, man. James Shrimp Fajitas, do me a favor, man. James Shrimp Fajitas, you know what I'm going to say, right? Oh, what do you want me to do, BC? Keep on rocking, bro. James Shrimp Fajitas, Darkman, Reese, JR9 Gaming, another great report. You guys got to check out the report from JR9. Yesterday's upload in the comments. JR9 crushed it yet again, man. Caught beat up. I tell you, man, legit, and this happens often with JR9 Gaming. Catches BC up on everything before I'm even able to catch any of it, because I'm not able to catch NXT in totality usually. So when I read that report, JR9 tells me exactly what to expect. And then when it lands, I'm like seeing it too. And I'm like, all right, now I see. So check it out, guys. JR9, I appreciate you big time, man. Always. Reese, as I said, Tony Partita, Marie. Yeah, Jose, $17.85 as a Florida resident. Man, $17. Now you try to get in on a peak day, you're looking at $1.50, $1.60. And that's just to get in. If you want a coffee, forget about it. $10 a spot. You want a popcorn bucket? $40. These days, you know how they get you? You go in, right? So you pay the $1.60, and then you have to buy like a pass just to get in line, or get in line at a reasonable time to ride the ride, if that makes sense. It's like lightning lanes or something, which used to be called Fast Pass. So guys, you have to spend more money when you get in the park just to ride the rides, or you're going to be in line for hours. So you talk about pricing people out, man. Disney is just gouging. Something tells me WWE ain't going to be far behind, man. Carmand, JJJ, Odyssey, Alicia, Macau, Appreciate you guys big time. All right, I'm going to let you guys rock out the rest of your, what is this, Thursday. Back with you guys for the SmackDown review. You guys know how that goes. That'll probably be Saturday morning. More live streams next week. I really want to work out the kinks of the technical difficulties. Hopefully I can do that. And you guys are going to help me do that if you don't mind. So don't be shocked if we just go live out of nowhere and they're only like 10 minutes at a time while we work out the kinks. Appreciate you guys, man. Oh, and we got a Dynamite. Hold up. JJ828. Dynamite rating is in 637, up from 630. They went up 4,000 viewers. So they are still stuck in the low 600,000s, Dynamite. They have once again been defeated by NXT. Fortunately, if you're NXT, unfortunately, if you're AEW. But the good news is they went up fourth. I always tell you guys, if you go up by one viewer, you went up and you didn't go down. They went up 4,000 viewers. It's the jobber matches. I told you guys, man, those are going to bring in viewers. 4,000, bro. We're having a little bit of fun, but hey, at least they did go up and not backwards, man. I wish them the best. I hope AEW can get it back on track. They went up. That's the good news. The bad news is they have sunk so far from their old 950K average. I mean, they're struggling to get 650 now. But if they stay the course, I'm seeing good things on these shows, man, or I'm hearing about it, what I'm able to catch. They just have to stay the course, believe in themselves, do what they're doing to perfection. Don't overcomplicate situations. Work on a few things really good, not many things really average. Anyway, I don't want to give a whole lecture to Tony Khan. He's the billionaire. I'm not. Whether it's from his father or not, I don't care. Much respect. The dude's got a lot of money. He's running the company. I wish him the best. Lloyd Watkins, 2-Spot Coffee. What up, BC? Next big star after Roman? Question mark. Much respect. Lloyd, salute. First super, by the way, Lloyd. So that's a double salute. That's a major swig for Lloyd. I said that was a double. Then Lloyd's going to get a double. The next big star after Roman. Jordan Grace for the ladies. I just think they're going to do something magnificent with her. Or she's going to take a top spot when she does get there. And I'm guessing you're thinking WWE, right? Because you said Roman, Lloyd. Next big star after Roman. Braun Breaker is who they're trying to make. This booking is not going to get fans like BC on board with Braun. And I've always supported Braun. I know there's a big place for him. I know they're trying, not the right way, but they're trying to get him over with everybody. Appreciate you, Lloyd. Can I take that to my unit, Lloyd, if you don't mind? Because I want to... And then maybe I can pick one. But who do you guys think? After Roman, who's the next dude that's going to get the Roman schedule? That's going to get all the main events? That's going to get all the hype? Is there anybody? I think that's the problem, Lloyd. I don't think there is anybody, and there's nobody being booked in position. Like, I would love to tell you Dragunov, but the way he's booked is sad. He's like a shell of himself because of shitty booking. Oh, I'm waiting for Alexa too, man, especially if they want to integrate her with the Wyatt Six. The problem is Wyatt Six. Hunter doesn't know what he's doing with them either. I mean, he had him do this weird thing with Chad Gable when Chad Gable should have been dedicated, storyline-wise, to Otis and the Alpha Academy. That should have been a long time and epically done. We were all into that. They rushed that to get it over with, just to bring in the Wyatt Six and American Made. And then they had Wyatt Six sit home for a month. And then they brought him back to attack The Miz in Final Testament. So I don't even know if I want Alexa next to them right now. He needs to know what he's doing with the Wyatt Six. It's too good of a faction. You could do so much entertainment-wise with them. And it's honoring a legend personified Bray Wyatt. This is just weird booking, though. Could be Jacob Fatu, says JR9. Long way to go, though, JR9. Long way. I mean, he's going to have to start working that microphone in the future. He's going to have to check off a lot of boxes. First, the company just has to make sure he is a company dude. Jacob Fatu, like legit, he's a wild dude. So the company to have to put the machine behind him is a whole nother story. Who else are you guys saying? Anybody? Nobody, pretty much. Robert Roode had some injuries that unfortunately took him out. He is an agent. He's still with the company. Whoever asked that. Where was that? Odyssey? Yeah, Bobby Roode, Robert Roode. He's still with the company. Just not wrestling anymore. Kind of like a Jason Jordan situation. Yeah, Reese. Yeah, I think Roman is probably the last for a while of this type of booking. This type of star power anyway. It's funny, right? Because it's almost like they manufactured that out of nowhere. Like once he turned heel, they kind of just started giving him the lesser dates, and it's almost like they told you he's special. They were done with the fans like dictating. When he turned heel, that was it, man. You're gonna look at Roman as a star whether you like it or not. So I don't know if the Machine would ever back somebody like that. Gunther, as long as they don't do stupid things, you can get everybody on board. I know a lot of you guys are still fine with Gunther. The handshake with Randy maybe did nothing for you guys wrong, right? BC, I hear what you're saying, but it was just a handshake. I'm already over it, BC. That's good for you. A lot of fans, we're not going to forget that, though, right? Gunther's supposed to be a diabolical heel. He's supposed to be that smug asshole. He's supposed to tell Randy, you're all failures, you and your family. You don't want to see him just shake the face's hand after the match, because now everything Gunther says, people like BC are going to go, oh, but he's a good guy. Gunther, yeah, he said that, but Gunther's a nice guy. They'll shake hands after this. You guys laugh, but you know I'm right? Because we've seen it. Gunther talked a big game, and then he's like, good job, Randy. Randy Orton had the dude call his whole family failures, beat him in the middle of the ring, and Randy's like, good job, man. Thanks for calling my family failures, and thanks for whooping my ass. I'm just going to see myself to the back. It's weird, man. So I respect your take if it's no problem for you. I'm totally fine with Randy doing that, BC. I'm totally fine with Gunther doing it. That's cool. But I hope you're okay with people like BC going, that was stupid, and it actually hurt their characters to us. Because we don't forget that, man. That's the whole point for Gunther to talk that trash. Back it up and smugly flip them off before you leave. I'd rather that than the handshake. I'm glad somebody just brought up CM Punk, because CM Punk, guys, there's a chance when he comes back, if this is done correctly and they really like catapult Punk could be more over or more of a pivotal part than Cody Rhodes, at least starting 2025 and into WrestleMania. Even if Cody's in the bigger Mania match, CM Punk seems to have so much momentum, and you gotta give credit to Drew McIntyre for that as well, by the way. So, big time. James Shrimp Fajitas, Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry. So, no? All right, I'm going to end on that bad joke. Listen, at least it wasn't a Japanese-Chinese joke, guys. I believe in Joe Hendry. All right, guys, thank you. Awesome stream. It was a test stream, but you guys made it something way more special. We'll do more of these in the future. Hopefully I can work out the kinks. Until next time, there will be that next time. This was a live amped up show. Tomorrow will probably be a pre-record before SmackDown. But make sure you guys check it, subscribe, notified, all the good stuff. Thank you guys for smashing that up. For those that were able to catch this live, appreciate you big time. BC's going to go get some more coffee. Side business. Next up is SmackDown's review. Saturday morning, I want to say. But again, tomorrow will be a special amped up show. So hopefully I'll have the preview of SmackDown for you guys. All right, check you. Deuces. Peace. Oh, by the way, hold up, real quick. You know, BC doesn't, the coffee's flowing. Chelsea Green, what are we doing? I think I saw on JR9's report. Chelsea Green was on NXT. Her and Piper Niven were attacking, it was the Damage Control Metaphor match, I believe. Chelsea Green was the talk of the town from a dumpster match. She turned a gimmick match into something special. And how do they reward her? Go to NXT. Play around with the metaphor down there. Come on, Chelsea Green is too damn good, man. I'm not even just talking skills. She checks off every box for someone who's damn entertaining. And to be honest, I'd rather Chelsea Green. I'd rather be watching Chelsea Green than a lot of pro wrestlers that can put on 25-minute bangers, bro. Chelsea Green has the it factor. Put her in the middle of the ring. Put her in prominent segments. Give her a storyline. BC's out. Check you. Deuces, check you. Yankees.